Greetings, Internet. My name is Vince Nicholas. I'm the lazy, healthy dude. I'm wearing gloves because it's very cold in Sacramento this morning. It's cold AF. Wanted to talk about this dude I saw in Walmart the other day. Giant dude, looked like he could be in his 50s, maybe 40s, but he was on a scooter, a rascal scooter, and he wasn't he probably wasn't handicapped or disabled. He was a huge guy, and it made me sad, and my heart breaks when I see people like that, because I think about myself and them. I think about that I was headed towards that, and it just kills me on the inside that I lost nearly a decade of my life to being giant and nearly obese, and I just think about someone like that. Like, I want to help them, but it's not my job, and I can't help everyone. But what I want to talk about is, because he has people in his life. He was with a woman, if I remember correctly. I'm not sure their relationship, obviously. But I want to talk about intervening. When you should say something, when you should step in a loved one's life who is giant, obese, nearly obese, severely overweight, fat, whatever you want to say. I think it is my opinion that you should say something, and you want to do it cautiously, with love. But see, on the other hand, sometimes giving them a good smack, the tough love approach, being, I guess, the drill sergeant from Full Metal Jacket, sometimes that works. You really got to read the situation. I know with me, I remember specifically when I was starting to gain weight, I was visiting my parents down in San Diego, and my mom, she would just look at me and start crying. She didn't have to say anything. Nothing needed to be said. It was apparent why she was crying. She saw I was getting ginormous, and it made me feel horrible. And so as I continued to gain weight, I saw less and less of my parents, of my mom, because I just didn't want to face that. I think stepping in is definitely something. Now, whether you want to do an intervention, where you bring them into a room, you say, "Hey man, come on over, we're gonna watch some Netflix and chill," and then you lure them into a room with a chair, and you say, "Hey man, sit down in this chair," and then you got a bunch of chairs, and you're not playing musical chairs, but where you sit them down and you have a stern talking to, an intervention. That's how I imagine interventions go for alcoholics. Honestly, I have no idea. But, it's really, you got to feel the situation. Everyone's different. Everyone's unique. What works for one person will not work for another. That's what I always say. I tell my story. I tell what works for me. Nearly 5 years of keeping the weight off. This is what works for me. What works for you is maybe the exact same thing that works for me. It may be completely opposite. It may be a little personalization, customization of what I do. So that's all I'm doing, is trying to help people. I want to talk about so when I was ginormous, I was nearly 400 pounds, and I would eat fast food all day, every day. Bang, 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 bang. I would get off work at 10:30 a.m. I was the early shift dude. And then I would I would get in my car, and I would head home. But before I would head home, I would hit McDonald's, and then Burger King, and then Jack in the Crack. Go home. Lunchtime, head back out, Carl's Jr., Wendy's. So I would just go back to back. It was it was beyond pathetic. But I look back at that time in my life, and I think, why didn't a coworker step in? I mean, you're really testing the fine lines of relationships and boundaries. But would I have appreciated a coworker saying something? Yes. Would it have been right of them to do? Proper? No. You think about just society and ethics and protocols, and it wouldn't have been right, because I wasn't that close to my coworkers because I was nearly 400 pounds. And then I think of the other kinds. There were basically two kinds of people in my life. Coworkers who I had nothing to do with, because I spent all my free time in my apartment eating fast food. And then the fast food component, the other kinds of people in my life were, and this is beyond pathetic. This is sad. This is the saddest thing ever. Was drive-through, fast food drive-through workers. And I got to know these people, and I would have zero conversations with them, almost no interaction, but I recognized their face, and I knew they recognized my face. So I look back at that time, and I mean, this 99.99% this would never happen, but I wish that the 16-year-old in the McDonald's drive-thru, who's rubbing her face because she was rolling on the ecstasy at the rave last night, I wish she would have said something. And that would never happen, but when your situation gets so extreme, what the hell? No one can step in. No one steps in. And what's the alternative? To be like Walmart dude, scooter dude, who I cannot get off my mind. So if no one steps in, not even drive-through person or coworker, which ordinarily would never happen and probably won't happen, but if no one steps in, scooter dude, who's 40s, in his 50s, he'll be in his 60s, 70s, 80s, and it will be a horrible life. So I don't know. If you have a loved one, say something. If you see something, say something, as Janet Napolitano used to like to say. Because, so there's one aspect, say something, confront them, just throw it out in the open, talk to them, be open, honest. But there's another aspect that I wanted to talk about, and that's the second step in this. So confront them, be honest, tell them what's up, say, hey man, I'm worried about you, I'm concerned, I love you, or woman, and I want you to change, I want you to get better, I want you to have a different life. That's one step. The second step that gets lost or just not thought of or forgotten is give them a path. So if you say, hey scooter dude, let's call him Walter. Hey Walter, I love you. I'm Walter's brother. I'm brother Walter. I'm Walter's brother. Say, hey man, I love you, dude. You're my boy. You're my brother. You're my family. You need to do something. Second step. Second step is giving some sort of direction, a gentle nudge, a soft push, hand holding, and saying, hey Scooter, hey Walter, dude, let's go to the gym. Let's start going to the gym. I will go to the gym with you all day, every day, and just build the habit and make it a part of your life. So that's the second step that I don't think gets enough attention, is doing something about it and offering direction and a plan. I always talk about this. Medifast California came into my life, and thank heavens they did. Changed my life. And key to my success, to their success, is a counselor. So you have a partner in the entire thing. You have someone who holds your hand, answers all your questions, concerns, worries, thoughts, feelings, comments, reflections. It's just someone there for you. And that is key. So, step one, get it out there. Say it. Put it out in the open. Say, Walter, I love you, dude. I want you to change your life because you're living a horrible life. These fat people who say, I'm proud of my size. That is such BS, dude. Look, just think about them getting dressed and getting undressed. And it's a horrible life. Now, getting dressed and getting undressed isn't so bad when you're that big because you tend to stop looking in the mirror, and that's what I did because that helps with your ignorance. And if you don't see, well, back to Jen and Napolitano, if you don't see nothing, you don't say nothing, and you ignore it, and ignorance is bliss. And it's just, I don't know what's going on. It's not a big deal. You know what's on my mind right now? Heading to Burger King. All right. So, say something. Offer direction. Be their partner in the journey. And that's it, man. Let's see. Let me go over my notes. Okay, so Walter, you're my bro, you're my brother, your family, your blood. I love you. It's time to change your life for the better. You don't want to be 60, 70, 80. When I was like nearly 400 pounds, I just thought, this is it. This is my life. I'm going to go to work, and then after work, I will go to several fast food locations, and then I will go to my apartment and eat all of it and then poop it all out, and that is my life. There were, when I used to live in Rancho Cordova, which is my previous residence, I had a neighbor who was, sort of like Walter's size. It was a couple, husband and wife, and they were both big, giant. And I would see them, this is insensitive, but I would see them waddle. They had a waddle to their car and back for groceries, and that's kind of the only time I saw them outside of their apartment, obviously. But they just had like a waddle, and I just thought, and they were in their maybe 40s or 50s, and I thought, that's me. That is my future. In 10 to 20 years, I am going to waddle to my car to get groceries, and then waddle back into my apartment to consume the groceries and then poop it all out. And I was resigned to it. I was like, whatever. I'm too far gone. It's been too much. It's been too long of a life like this. And whatever. That's fine. This is my existence. And I had given up. Anyways. Direction. So, Medifast California, this isn't a plug. They don't pay me anymore. I used to be a celebrity on the radio, kids. Terrestrial broadcast radio. It's what all the hipsters are listening to. Screw that Pandora, Spotify crap. But that is my story. They came into my life and changed it. But, dude, if Jenny Craig works, Weight Watchers, this Take Shape for Life, Optavia stuff I've been hearing about, Bikini Beach Body, everyone is different. Something will work for you. What works for me may not work for you. Do something. Say something. Get it out in the open. Confront them. Intervene. Tell them you love them. And then offer direction. And be their partner in that direction, in that plan. Plugs, please like this video, subscribe to the channel. Leave a comment if you want. Any questions, comments, thoughts, feelings, reflections, any ideas you want me to do a video on, you want me to give my opinion and hot take on, feel free to leave it in the comments section. Twitter, Snapchat, Instagram, I'm Vince Nicholas. Vince Nicholas. On the Facebook, I'm Lazy Healthy Dude. Please like the Lazy Healthy Dude page on the Facebook. LazyHealthyDude.com goes to the YouTube, and that's it, man. Help a brother out. Help your boy Walter out. Walter, he's crying on the inside. Although you're so insensitive, you've so tuned out, you've so lost emotion and just feeling that Walter doesn't know. He's in a dark, dark place, just like I didn't. But I look back and I'm like, co-worker / drive-through employee. I wish you would have said something, but I understand you not. So follow me on all the whatever Snapchat and the social media, or Google me. Do whatever you want. Live your life. Help Walter. Love you, babe. Peace.